Today I'm going to show you how you can edit the products that are within your product loop without using any builders or any extra plugins, just your PHP. By the end of this video, you'll be able to create product cards that look like this, or basically like anything that you can imagine. Before we can begin to edit the product cards, we must first understand where this is coming from. If you look inside the plugin files for WooCommerce and you go into the templates folder and you scroll down, you will see all the template files that WooCommerce uses to generate its pages. This archive product file is the one that generates your shop page, and if you scroll down you'll see an if loop, and this is the loop that generates the products that are on that page. The products within the loop are controlled by this line of code, and this line of code is basically looking for a file called content-product.php. Inside the WooCommerce files, you'll also find a file called content-product.php, and this is the file that controls how each of the product cards look. If you take a look here, you'll see that this is an li tag, so it's just a list item that gets looped through and produce all your product cards. So if we want to edit the product card, this is where it needs to happen, but we can't edit this file directly. We have to go ahead and add our code as actions that we can attach to various hooks on this file. Let's say, for instance, I want to add the description for each product below the title. The first thing I need to do is find out which action I can hook onto. Inside the content-product.php file, if you look at the comments section, you will see the functions that are running whenever a certain action is performed. And this action here, WooCommerce before shop loop item title, is going to give you these functions. So this is the one that is producing the image, and this produces the sale tag if this product is on sale. If you scroll down, you'll also see another action called WooCommerce shop loop item title, and this one gives you the title of the product. You also have a WooCommerce after shop loop item, and this one gives you both the title of the product and the price, the loop price. So in order for us to actually place the description of the product below the price, we need to hook onto this action here. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to copy the action. Then I'm going to go into my theme woocommerce-hooks.php file that I created, and I placed it in a folder called inc, or includes, whichever one you want to call it. The reason why I do this separate file and I'm not pasting it in the functions.php file is because I want to have a very neat folder structure. And if you're not going to do it inside your functions.php file, then you need to tell WordPress where to find that file. And that's what this line of code does. WordPress only recognizes the functions.php file, so this is necessary if you're going to create other PHP files that will have the functions that should be within your functions.php file. So let's go ahead and add our action. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in. Okay, so we're going to say add action, and I want to paste in the action that we want to hook onto. Then I'm going to define the product name. I'm going to call this show description. Let me wrap this. And then I need to define that function. So function show underscore description. And within this function, I need to call out the description from the product item. Each product within WooCommerce is actually a post. So you can use the same functions that you would have used for like your normal blog loop here. So I'm going to close out of PHP, then jump back into PHP so that I can type some HTML. First, I'm going to create a container. So div.product description. And within this container, I'm going to hop back into PHP here and then close out of it so that in between this, I can type the content. And this is going to give me the description for the product. If I go back to my site and I refresh, you will see that the description for the product is indeed showing, but it is showing below the price and I want it to show below the title. This is happening because the priority of the description is actually lower than the priority of the rating and the price. So if I go to my WP Hooks Finder and I go to show actions and I scroll down all the way down to the card, if I look at the action that we're hooking onto, you will see that my function show description is all the way down here at priority 10. WordPress gives it a priority of 10 by default if you did not explicitly state one. So if I want this description to come above the price and above the rating, I need to give it a priority of 4 or less. So let's go ahead and do that. Back in my file, I'm going to place a comma and give this a priority of 4. Now, if I close out the action hooks, you'll see that my description is showing up right below the title of the product, and that is exactly what we want. So you can go through and add different product features that you want, or take away product features so that you can determine the type of structure that you want for your products. The next thing that we can do here is to style the product. If you look back on my website that I'm working on, I'm able to style everything within my product card. So let me show you how you can do that. Back in WordPress, if I go ahead and inspect the page, then I click this icon here, I can hover over any aspect of the product card and I can see the class that is associated with that element. And if I can see the class, then I can determine exactly what changes I need to make. This product description is here because if you remember, that's the class that we gave to our container when we were adding the description. So I can easily just copy my class, go into my CSS, and I can define this. So I can, let's say I change the color of this to green. Now if I refresh, you'll see the description change. But what about everything else that I did not define a class for? When you inspect the page, for instance, I'm going to inspect the title, you will see the class under the element section. If you can find the part that is going to generate the title, then you'll also see the class. And from here, all you need to do is to just copy that class, go back into your CSS, paste that class, and now you can change the color of this to blue. And if I refresh, there we go. So you can do that with every single element that is here and figure out what the class is. And once you have that class, it's easy for you to just go in and make that change.